You got this and you got that, and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes, but is not limited to, the Monkey Tamer. What's poppin', Berk?
Why am I the Monkey Tamer?
Oh, you didn't watch back that Venetian stream?
Some sort of circus in town that I'm unaware of?
There was a circus in town, all right. It was the first half of that Venetian stream I watched.
Oh, I thought you meant a lot of shit was being thrown around.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit being thrown around.
I can't believe you threw it to me instead of our long-lost compadre, Mr. Tortoise.
I'm back, baby.
We haven't seen him in a fortnight, if you will.
It's been a minute.
To be fair, I wasn't here either, so I didn't even notice he was gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually true.
What's poppin', Tortua?
Oh, not much, man. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
You know, about 12.5%, thank you.
There, 12.5%?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than me. But you know what? Did you know that St. Patrick is actually Italian?
It always comes back to this.
I just want to educate the people. You know, everybody should know their history.
Not everything's about you, Brian.
I'm just saying, St. Patrick was Italian.
I heard Christopher Columbus was too.
Yeah, well, that is true, but we're not going to talk about him.
Right. Pretty quick not to own him.
The Italians still love him. They do.
I'm the only one who I thought they liked Americano or whatever, the one who originally founded
Americano.
Isn't that his name? It's like Americani.
It's yeah.
It was an Italian explorer. His first name was like
America.
It wasn't America. It was it was a derivative thereof.
Well,
that's why we're America.
Yeah.
Whoever Americano is an idiot because he puts water in his fucking espresso. Who does that?
Who pronounces it espresso?
Espresso.
Me?
Espresso. That's another pet peeve of Italians. We do not like when you say espresso. It's espresso.
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 Uncle Dan also takes big issue with that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Dan. Italian and Irish.
O'Brien.
Yes.
He's Italian.
But he's also,
also Irish.
What doesn't Dad take big issue with?
That's true. I think his head is Irish. That middle finger might be Italian. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one who dressed up for the occasion.
I got green on.
I got orange on.
I got greenish. Wait, orange counts?
Oh, no, does it?
I feel like orange doesn't count.
You have orange in yours.
He does have a club on his shirt. That's fair.
Yeah.
I got some orange in my sneaker. Green in my sneaker.
I've tried every year. We've been doing this podcast for 3 years now, and I think I did it for 1.5 or almost 2 with Chin. And I always think to like get holiday inspired things to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing ever, because like when you're buying for a holiday, you're buying some shitty thing off Instagram.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I have an ugly sweater that's not a sweater.
Right.
It's like a thermal.
Right.
With like Rudolph on it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I have a like 2 or 3 St. Patrick's Day shirts that I've bought throughout the years that I don't think they're made of material meant for clothing. They're made of like they're kind of actually an entire shirt formed out of the like the press-on decal.
Yeah, right.
You know? So like imagine the entire shirt's material is just a decal.
It doesn't seem comfortable.
No, and they never fit either.
No.
Like they have a neckline that starts at the tip of your shoulder.
They're definitely
cuts all the way through your titty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not made
Fool me once. Shame on you, but I mean,
fool me 9,342 times.
Shame on me.
Right.
Yo, this just in.
Okay.
The West Virginia government. Governor.
He's protesting the NCAA?
Yes, he is. He's fucking pissed.
Yeah.
What's the backstory?
He's saying that they got snubbed for the tournament.
Yeah.
They were trash.
I didn't watch any basketball this year, but they said that WVU was one of the 5 bubble teams.
Yeah, it is funny when you're just like, you're protesting it. We are the 46th best team in the nation. Come on, right?
The difficulty with
And everybody wants
selections-
to be in. I get
the
it.
difficulty with Selection Sunday in the NCAA tournament is that you can't think of it as how many teams even get in now.
64. Oh well,
No, plus
okay.
like the play-ins and
There's
stuff.
play-in, so I guess technically it's 66.
I can't
68
remember.
maybe.
68 maybe.
Yeah.
But the playing game has like evolved. Like it's no longer just playing to get a 16 seed. So it's not like
Right.
it's
Right.
it's not like it's the 4 bubble teams or whatever. Like you can play into like I think an 11 or whatever. So
Mhm.
there's like some, reasonably decent teams that are on the bubble. You can't really think of it as 1 through 64.
I mean, I said that kind of tongue in cheek.
No,
like,
but I think that's how people do think about
right,
it.
they do. But obviously, there's you get an automatic bid when you win your conference, and there's a lot of like
A lot of
There's a lot of
conferences out there that
otherwise would not make
Yeah,
it.
the team's like not that great. So-
Mid-majors.
right? So then you have to leave out some other teams that are much better than that conference winner.
To be honest with you, the mid majors need to be in there.
Of course.
Those fucking.
we love it. We love
Nothing's better than a
the Cinderella
16.
stories. Yeah,
Yeah, no one cares about like WVU coming in as a 15 seed and going somewhere, but
Nobody
like,
gives a fuck.
if you bring in fucking I don't know, like
Liberty or something.
Yeah.
St. Bonaventure.
Same hey, don't you talk down to
They're not a
Friends
mid-major.
Bonnies?
They're not a mid-major. They're
Oh,
in the
man.
A10, so
Great.
that's not fair. But speaking, Duquesne I think made a run
Yeah.
a few years ago. Not a mid-major, A10.
Yeah,
Not a mid-major. It
No.
seems like a mid-major though.
right.
No one knows who they are.
St. Francis of something.
Right. A lot of St.
It's usually
Francis out
a
there.
Catholic school somewhere
Yeah.
in like
Yeah, a
Connecticut
lot of
or
stories
something.
off of that. I mean, Shaka Smart like ended up becoming like a massive
VCU.
just off of the back of VCU. Like he became a household name.
Yeah, I mean that was a fucking sick run they went on.
Butler too. They've been like notoriously good back when he's like the president of the Celtics now. Or maybe he's still the head coach.
No, Brad Stevens. He's the president now.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
the head coach for
Yeah.
a bit though, right? Like another great example of
I feel like
a small school.
I feel like
making a
these
deep
small schools, they'll make a deep run, and then the recruiting goes up, and then all of a sudden they're like
No longer a
they
small
become
school.
good. Yeah, right. Like,
Exactly.
and all of a sudden they're in it now because
Well, I think it's one of those things where if you can dominate your small sector of whatever mid-major it is that
and
you're
you know
in.
that hey, if we come to our school, you're going to go to the dance every year.
Yeah. So if you're perennially dominating that lesser competition, if you will, in order to ensure that you're always in the tournament,
Yeah.
you're gonna make some runs.
I don't know when.
if you're there every year, you'll make a run here and there.
I don't know when the switch took place.
Like I can win a tournament. You know,
I
It
don't know-
happens.
I
Not
don't know-
often. No.
I don't know when the switch took place, but within the last maybe 5 to 7 years, a lot of kids started going to other schools that weren't Duke, UNC.
NIL baby.
Well, no, before that, it was like, I guess they just started paying a little bit more under the table. But like, it was just like the mid-major schools got pretty good kids that would play in ball.
Yeah.
And like, it just,
I don't know that they were getting like Duke and UNC recruits, but
No, they were.
I understand what you're saying.
no, they were for
Well,
sure.
I
Like,
think generally what happens is there's only 5 starting positions, so it's like if you can offer a starting role, but it's
role.
like if you're the 6th to 10th man for Duke, you don't just end up in like VCU, you end up at Maryland or there's so many other major schools in major conferences where you could be the guy.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're getting at, but like I don't think it's been to that extreme.
I know, but it
There's
has
still
to be
a lot of
because
dominance out of like the Kentuckies. Maybe not Kentucky so much.
fucking blows.
They might have fell off a bit, but Arizona's there year in and year out. Duke is always
the most
perennially
part.
good.
Yeah.
Virginia's been great as of the last 5 to 10 years.
All right.
What are you saying for? They were like the favorite 2 or 3 of the last 5 years, I think. I might be speaking a little bit out of pocket. 'Cause
I think it's a little bit out of pocket. I think it might be a
not
little
out of
past
pocket that they were the favorite
You're gonna
multiple
get a
years.
phone
Past
call
that.
from Andy. Your phone's probably ringing right now.
I know I'm not out of pocket saying that they're a favorite like multiple years, but I might be bad with
Yeah.
how long ago it's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
long has it been since they were good?
Right.
It could have been last year. Or it could have been 6 years ago.
Right, it's all the same.
I watch pretty casually. You know.
Right.
We have a good show lined up for you guys today, though. There's a lot of poker to discuss. We're going to go back over that monkey business that Conrad was referring to on the Venetian stream. We're also going to be joined later in the show by Caitlin Komeski and Podrick O'Neill. We actually recorded this interview earlier today because Podrick is on European time and it's getting quite late over there. I think it's 9-hour difference.
Can you think of a more Irish name?
No, and I'm pretty sure if push came to shove, like it's almost definite that his nickname is Patty.
Yeah.
Patty O'Neill on St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
What more could you ask for?
Right.
So we'll cut to that interview towards the latter half of the show. They're going to be discussing all things Irish Open. We're going to get into a fun game of is it Gaelic or is it
You
Klingon.
said Sputnik.
Klingon.
How Irish are you? It's going to be fun. But you know, prior to that, we played a little bit of poker this weekend. And, you know, from the outside looking in, I'm sure everyone thinks I'm just doing great.
Yeah, just crushing it, Berk.
Yeah, just doing great.
Yeah.
You had a great time this week. What are
Had
you
a
talking
great time
about?
this week. I had a great time this year. I'm absolutely killing the game. Killing the game.
I think you're not killing the game. You're more like
I'm
keeping
getting
the
text
game,
messages.
You're keeping the game going.
I'm getting text messages. You're the live stream god. It's like, oh, how far we've come.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're supposed
from
to
the
do
Doug Polk
you're
days.
supposed to like lose
I know.
on stream and win.
I had a good thing going.
You did.
For like 6 years. I
Hey,
would go on stream and lose.
It's called regressing to the mean.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I
don't
mean that
understand.
eventually, you know, that's what's gonna happen. Like you're gonna start losing privately and winning on stream.
That's bad.
I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's, you know, things
So
even
bad.
out eventually.
I actually know how you can fix this, Matt.
Go ahead.
It's like taking a placebo.
Okay.
When you go play when it's not live, just set up a camera right next to you, and you're good to go.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the easier thing would be just to win.
On both.
When
you're-
I'm off
When you're
stream.
90% favorite.
That too.
That would help.
I was telling these guys pre-production, I played 6 pots over $120,000 yesterday in a $100, $200 game, and I won 0.
Oh boy.
I was an 80+% favorite in 5 of the 6.
Oh boy.
The 6th one, I flopped a set versus an open ender, and we got in on the turn for pot, where he turned the straight. Luckily, I chopped that one. I did chop half of them, but I got scooped. Half of them. 3 of the 6, I got scooped.
Well, you're 80% favorite.
Where I was an 80% favorite.
Running it twice?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do they get there twice?
It's insane. The first one,
You're an 80%. I mean, obviously.
the first
you
one was
can
a
do it.
bomb pot where it was a 3-way all in. It went, it came queen 10-4 rainbow, and the hijack bet 500 into 4,500. I made it 2,500 with queen 10. Button cold called, big blind cold called. Hijack jams for 30,000. I jam. Button calls off for 40,000. So it's like 100-ish K pot. A little bit more, I guess, with the bomb, like 110K pot. They both have king jack. Brick 9, brick ace.
Jesus.
Fuck you.
So if you're an 80% favorite on the first board, how much? How about a kind of favor are you on the second board? It's got to be 85%.
Slightly
maybe?
more. I mean, they lose 1 out.
One out of how many outs? They don't have that.
But they only had 8.
They only have 8, so you're losing a whole.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, I probably wasn't quite 80 there.
Yeah. I was gonna say if they had 8 outs, you're not 80.
Probably more like 72. No, like 68, probably.
Yeah. Felt like 80.
Well, second run, I'm probably closer to like 70-ish, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
Because all my outs are clean to fill up too.
Right.
I can just turn them dead. But yeah, like I'm exaggerating a bit on the 80. There was one where we got it all in with 1 to come, where I had 6-4 in the stand-up game on the button, where it was limped like 5 ways. Small blind made it 2,500, folded back to me. Okay, I'm in. And it came king 10, king 10-4, king 10 of diamonds, and I have 6-4 with the 6 of diamonds. He bets like 2K. I call. Turn is 6 of clubs. He bets 10K into 10 with like 38,000 behind.
King 10-4-6.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he bets 10 into 10 and has like 38K, 40K behind, something like that.
All you can eat.
I just jam.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a lot of ways to play this, and I don't think jam is really going to be utilized very often at all in theory. But during stand-up, when a guy bets pot, It's like I unblock all the things that are going to bet call, and if he folds a hand like, Jack high flush draw or something like that, it's not the worst thing in the world. He ultimately called off with King Jack, Jack of Diamonds, which maybe is probably one of the worst hands to call off with, I would imagine, blocking like my combo
Queen
draws.
Jack and stuff like that.
Yeah, it blocks like a lot of the things I would be bluffing with.
Yeah.
And just fucking drills a jack.
Yeah.
Just fucking drills a jack like it was coming. So
knew.
that one was no fun.
Did he know?
I
This
know.
day and age, you never know. Did he know?
Yeah, did he actually know? If so, no, he didn't know. He definitely didn't know. He's just gambling, which is great. Everybody's out there gambling a little bit.
Yep.
And I was like saying in the chat, I was like, these pots probably happen all the time. You just don't realize it when you hold.
Right.
Because it's so, matter of fact of like, yeah, of course, he found a hand he wanted to gamble with. We had him beat, we held, we moved on. When you just consecutively lose them all and find a way to lose 200K in a 100-200 game, you're just like, what on God's green earth is going on? Like, how?
What is that? It's only 1,000 big blinds.
Yeah, that's true when you put it that way.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
It was pain.
That's one double up. Get it all back.
I got scooped on Jack of Clubs, 10 of Clubs, 4 of Hearts with King Queen of Clubs versus Jack 10.
Oh my God.
Jack of Clubs.
Can't get there.
Bricked one run.
Royal
I completely bricked one run. Just came like fucking red deuce.
Yeah.
And then the other one I turned a 9 and he rivers a jack.
Yeah.
This is like, man, what did you guys do to me?
What the fuck is that?
Amerigo Vespucci is
Amerigo Vespucci.
the
Thank you,
Italian
chat.
explorer.
Yes.
Close. I was close.
So is that the guy
Wait.
that came up with Americanos or not?
Are we saying Amerigo Vespucci is Italian?
Is he
Jesus.
is he Swiss? Maybe
He's Norwegian.
He's French.
Maybe he's
French.
Irish.
He's a French explorer.
Yeah, he might be Irish. All right. So the good news is I could afford yesterday's loss because Saturday went well.
Yes, sir.
Finally got to play on the Venetian live stream. Oaken wasn't there, so I got the invite. I think those are the rules.
They kicked him out.
And shocker, most watched Venetian stream so far.
Yeah.
New record-setting large pot.
Mm-hmm.
All
You
thanks
tend to
to your
do that.
boy.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
They
Let's
need
go.
an action facilitator. Everybody's fucking nit when nobody's pushing the action.
You think you'd be like invited to every live stream that there is?
Live stream, private game, pinochle game in the back alley.
Right.
Like, who wants it more than me?
Right.
All but cheated games because he wins in all of those.
That's true. That actually is
Somehow he finds
true.
a way.
I'm pandering to the wrong people. I don't want to be invited to anything except for whatever Robo is organizing.
That's true.
And I had the pleasure of playing with him for many, many, many years, and I would appreciate it if he found my number.
It's buried in the book.
Yeah, I think I just like need to send him a like, hey. How's it been, man? Yeah. Just like once a month,
Yeah, right.
Just wanted to shoot the shit.
Yeah.
See how you and the kids are. Wife's good. Okay.
Send him an edible arrangement.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Robo, it's just Berkey saying hi. Have these mangoes.
Too bad he deleted your number and it just comes in as just like a phone number. He's like, delete and report as junk.
No, I have his Telegram. He can't get rid of me.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what you
Got
do?
him.
You just go into edible arrangements and you send a monthly fucking delivery to him
Right.
every single month.
Yeah.
Hey, Robo, it's me, Berkey.
Just wanted to remind you I'm here.
Yeah.
I will say this motherfucker is so rich. I bought a piece of him in a game. It was he didn't need to sell, to be very clear to everybody. It was
Doing
like
a favor.
He was doing me a favor because I did him a favor. And so he's like, I'll give you a piece in this spot. So I had like 5% of him in this 200-400 game or whatever, and he loses. Like, of course, his only loss on stream in like a decade. So he loses like I think 300. I think I owed him 15K. And this went on for years. Just years. I have this tab with him, and every time I open Telegram, I see that I owe him money. And I'm just like, waiting for a situation where we're going to run into each other so I can pay him. And I realized that's just never going to happen because he stopped inviting me to games.
Does it have to be in cash? Seems like there's many, many ways to pay somebody.
I would have preferred to pay him in chips, perhaps, so that maybe I had a seat in whatever venue it was that I was offering him the money.
Gotcha.
That never came though. So one day I was just like, "Hey, I actually it was we were talking about something else, and I was like, I just want to remind you, I owe you money." He goes, "You do?" I'm like, "I do." Yeah. He's like, "Oh, well, can you send crypto?"
God damn it.
You're like, well, I was hoping, one of these fun games that you put together.
I should have really insisted. I should be actually only chips.
Yep. I'm only paying you when we sit together.
I have no crypto. I have no cash. I have nothing in my bank. It's all I have is chips. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, I'm not a Renaissance man. I just only have these clay discs that I'd really like to give you in person. Is there any chance we could meet up?
This guy actually pays his mortgage in Bellagio.
Yeah, Bellagio chips. They take it too.
Bellagio chips are universal.
Yeah, the HOA. I just show up with a fucking $100 chip every month. There you go.
Is that for the fine for something?
No, my HOA fees are I think $160 a month or something like that.
What's
and then on top
fine?
of that, I pay another $100 a month because I haven't finished my front yard.
Those motherfuckers.
It's been going on for 5 years. I have to be like $6,000 all because I'm lazy. I could have gotten a bunch of bushes for $6,000.
You could have had the backyard paid for, but with all the fines.
The thing, it's not laziness either. I'm way off on a tangent, but I've been trying to get this pickleball court built forever, and it is partly lazy because what happens is I speak to a contractor, and we go back and forth, and I either don't like the design or they get busy, and one way or another, communication drops, and then once communication drops, I just don't find time for it. But then there's a moment where I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, I'm so sick of looking at this dirt and not being able to walk out and play pickleball whenever I want. And then I restart the process. But I'm not committed enough to it. I gotta
I'm more sick of the fucking dogs tracking dirt in every fucking time.
That too. The big problem is too, it's like every time that I'm all in, or it's like, okay, I'm fucking getting this done right now, I go on a $700K down spend. Do I really need a pickleball court?
Okay, I'm not getting this done right now.
Once you go into a huge upswing, you just have to
that was January.
Yeah.
then February came.
Don't play another hand of poker till your backyard's done.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. That would be smart because February came and it erased it all.
You realize these monkeys are throwing poo at the wall, right?
I understand.
It's hard not to play.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Well, I did get the invite. Thankfully, Mom was out of town.
Mom.
So I got the fun stepdad reached out and he said, "Hey, we got a seat for you." And I said, "Cool, I'll be there." Brandon Stevens is in town. He's always a pleasure to play with. Got to play with Iwas again, which crazy enough, I've played six sessions at Venetian. The only 2 I was a winner in. I mean, this is the only one I actually won in, but the only 2 I even started a winner in were the 2 that Iwas played.
Hey.
Oh, I wonder why.
Go figure. I don't know.
Maybe you won a 6-figure pot off of him a couple times.
I think just good energy between us, to be honest.
But I don't think Iwas gives off any energy. He just sits there looking miserable the whole time. It's honestly.
I joked with him in the game. I go, man, back in 2012 when I was playing Brigada with you, and I was big dicking it because I just really finally made it. I had $500,000 for the first time. I looked at this young, brash 18 to 21-year-old, however the fuck old you were at the time, and I said, you know what? I'm not sure much, but I'm sure one thing. This kid ain't going to fucking make it. But I was kidding. I actually thought he was very good back then. I'm surprised he shifted into mixed
Did you
games.
say this to him before or after?
After, of course. I save all the needles for when the pain is the highest.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
There was some good news. I forgot right after he lost the tens versus Queens versus 10s hand to you. Steven said something, or I forgot.
He goes, I'm peak upstuck now. And I go, I have to tell you, I don't want to speak for him, but if anybody here really feels your pain, it's Eric. And he goes, yeah, I'm really broken up that you're down 1,500 from your peak right now.
So good.
See, that's good TV. You're fucking welcome, Oaken. Okay, you're welcome, Venetian Poker and Poker Go. This is what I bring to the table.
Folding trips with a flush draw isn't good TV. You're trying to tell me?
Well, it's viral. It's viral TV. It is definitely viral TV.
What a nit. You're not allowed to come back, Oaken. Bye.
The last time I played with him, I obviously called him a nit, as I tend to, and he goes, "You can call me a lot of things. You can't call me a nit. Go back and watch the stream. Obviously, you didn't watch the stream." And I'm like, I fucking saw enough. I saw you fold trips.
I
with
saw
a flush
one
draw.
hand and I knew.
Yeah, it's like I saw you fold trips with a flush draw. I don't think we need to go much beyond that, but sure, I'll take a peek. And it's like, yeah, like during stand-up game, he'll just like randomly spaz and cold 4-bet king 5 off.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But it's like it ends there. Like he had no plan past the. All right, well, I need to sit down and I got king 5 off and I'm going to 4-bet this motherfucker because I don't think he got it.
We
right?
spoke about this in the car, but the nit term has changed.
It's evolved.
It's evolved.
With the game, it has evolved. I think like back in the early 2000s, a nit was somebody who just didn't play any hands. You know, it was somebody that was waiting for aces, a nut peddler, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know that's kind of no surprise. Like if you go all the way back to the Doyle Super System days, even then, Doyle, who was like revolutionary in quote unquote opening up the game, was talking about ace queen as a trouble hand.
But he played suited connectors.
Right, which was they go high, you go low kind of mindset. But he was very much of the mind of like not being dominated.
There's trouble hands.
When you entered pots, ace queen,
King, queen.
Parking lot hand. Like, you know, ace king's out there lurking. You can't just get in the mix with the second best fucking ace in the deck.
I get it, man.
Of course you do.
It all makes sense to me. I don't know.
And I think like now, you know, the game has evolved a lot with solver strategy. People are starting to understand preflop a lot more. Like you can go back to the early 2000s and think of a guy like Brad Booth. You're like, that guy's fucking action, man. You know, maybe a Mattisau of sorts might have been a bit of an action player back in the day. JRB, action player back in the day.
Imagine.
These guys are just, I mean, Mike is like the biggest nit on the fucking planet now. And, you know, if...
Not according to him. He sat in the seat and said he bluffs.
I don't give a fuck. That's a surefire red flag of somebody who's a nit.
Yeah.
Somebody who's so tight that they have to protest to other people that they do in fact bluff. It's like, of course you bluff. You're a fucking nit. You should get away with it.
Yeah.
Like Oaken bluffed me the last time I played with him in a spot where like I had probably a pretty easy call, but he played his hand weird, and I 3-bet ace queen from the small blind. He called the button, and it came king 9-9. I had ace queen suited. It came king 9-9, one of my suit. I see bet, he raises. It's like, oh fuck, call. Turn queen. I check, and he just like randomly spazzes chips in the middle. Like, no, I think the size was like 46% pot. You know, just like something totally fucking random and made no sense. So I call again. And then the river's a brick. I check and he just like jams. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And the shove was small. It was like, I don't know, 60% pot or something. Like it was just, there was no cohesion from flop to river. But Jack 10 got there.
Just pay that man.
And it's like, I thought he was bluffing on the flop, but like Jack 10 got there. Like that's the most obvious one. So I'm just like contemplating. It's just like, you know what, man? You got it.
What to show you, like ace 10?
Ace 7 suited.
He's probably so proud of himself.
Ace 10 would have made sense.
Not even a good bluff.
No, I mean, it's kind of whatever. He's at bottom, I guess. But like, yeah, I wouldn't pick my ace highs to do this with. I would just pick like 7-8 suited.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he doesn't have that. He
blocks,
doesn't have that.
Right. Maybe pick a hand that actually has no showdown value and blocks the 9.
If every one of your bluffs get through, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
My bluffs, I always get my bluffs through.
He can't wait. I always say you don't get rich bluffing Berkey, but I keep doing it. It's like, yeah, man, you're gonna get one through on me when I'm fucking stone bottom of hands I could possibly call with. Like if I have queen 10, I would call, but like ace queens, it feels bad. Whatever. It's like I still tanked for a long time and almost called. But the point is that like the evolution of like what a nit is now, which I do believe, and he's like, go back and watch the stream. I'm not a nit. I play hands. It's like, yeah, man, like you're in a tight game where people aren't doing anything aggressively. Like you're in something between a tight passive and loose passive game, depending on who the lineup is, right? Like obviously if JRB's in there, it's going to be loose passive. If Guys like Pacheco like to play a lot of hands, and guys like
Pacheco's ace, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Dr. Phil, he was, I guess, playing a bunch of hands, sort of. But again, like the point is that what you don't see is a lot of 3, 4, 5 bets. You don't see a lot of like
action toward the river.
There just isn't a high volume of betting taking place,
right?
Yes. It's a lot of checking, a lot of calling, and I'm talking pre-flop and beyond, right? It's a lot of checking and a lot of calling, and very little aggressive action taking place. And it's like, because you're all just nitty whenever it comes to putting money in the middle. Not enough money ever seems to get in. It's like, we just played the biggest pot in Venetian poker history. It's a whopping $250K. The average stack in every one of these Venetian stream games is $100K.
It should happen.
The money just never gets in.
It just never gets in. Yeah. They play, they're playing 100, 200, sometimes 1, 2, 4. So you're talking about like somewhere between 250 to 500 big blind poker
with squid on,
with ante, and it's just like you would think that they're playing 10,000 big blinds effective, where the money just can't get in.
Do you think the term nit like evolved, or do you think that the actual nits themselves evolved? Right, like maybe they were the ones that were nut peddling or just playing aces, and now they realize they can't do that. So like, I got to figure out a way to play hands and still be nitty. Okay, I'll just play a bunch pre-flop and then never put money in.
I think it's just
post-flop unless I have the nuts.
I think it's the term.
I think it's a game, honestly.
Yeah.
With this like solvers and bullshit like that. Like it just everything has progressed. Like
also all the additions.
Yeah, that's true. They're forced to play hands in some sense.
Yeah, I think the old nits, the ones that played 7% VPIP and just waited for aces, they went the way of Broomcorn's uncle.
That's true. Oh yes, Broomcorn's
uncle. Who the fuck
uncle.
is Broomcorn?
You don't know about Broomcorn's uncle?
I don't know about Broomcorn's
cousin. He ate himself to death.
Yeah, he ate himself to death. You don't know about Broomcorn?
R.I.P. Broomcorn's uncle.
I do not.
R.I.P. Shout out to Broomcorn's uncle. This is how people made a living in the past.
Right.
Or they played with Broomcorn's uncle.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just ante and ante and ante and ante and ante, and then he's broke.
Oh, well, yeah, you definitely can't do that with the Squid Game
so you
and
can't,
stuff.
Yeah, with Squid Game, with Big Blind Ante, you can't really do that anymore.
So they take little shots.
Yeah, and this is no slight against Brad Booth. I don't know why I guess I just read an article about him, so he sticks out in my mind. But it's like, I remember the style of poker that he played back then. Gavin Smith is another good example. Gavin Smith, the aggressive call. That's the perfect example of like what I'm talking about. They just didn't
look at that.
They didn't put a large volume of money in aggressively unless they had it. So all they did was they transposed what was happening pre-flop by people who were really tight onto post. So they said, I'll play deck pre. I don't care. I'm a gambler. Mm-hmm. But then when you got to post, the only way big money went in is whenever they had the nuts. Right? So it's like they put in a bunch of small money over and over and over and over again until they made a really big hand, and then and like that was the misconception of airball. When he was challenging me, a lot of the conversation was like, he's going to run you over. You have no idea. You're going to buckle down to the aggression. It's like, am I? Because I've watched this guy play. Right. The only time that like large amounts of bets go in are when he has a really good fucking hand. And that makes sense because he's playing way too many bad hands to constantly be putting in large sums of money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference. It's like a nit now is not somebody who folds too much pre. It's somebody who just like never really actively puts money in the pot. So the type of person who has like top on the river after having bet half pot twice and just decides to themselves, he can't call worse.
Check
back. Like, they have ace queen on like queen 4 deuce 9 10. And they're just like, oh, everything got there.
I'm just gonna check here.
You sound like me.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he has queen 10. He has 9 10. He has
somehow he has king jack.
King jack in his hand somehow. It's like, how could I ever value bet ace queen here? It's like check. And it's like you already didn't put enough money in the previous two streets, and now you're failing to get the third street in a spot that's like pretty clear. You have a 3 street hand, and they have hands that can call worse. These are just, in my vision, and I think this is what frustrates a lot of the most elite players out there, like on the Triton stops that are playing nosebleeds, the Jason Koons of the world and stuff like that. They get accused of being nits especially by the fun players, right? The guys that are frequenting, these private games, these high stake games, the robo lineups, if you will. Robo has been adopted into this splashy high stakes world, and he's done a great job of evolving. And all the guys like Kuhn and all them are saying like, we'll do the same thing. Give me a minimum VPIP of 50%. That's fine. I'll play all the fucking hands. I don't care, because they know how to put money into the pot. So they get nit shamed for being tight because they want to have good starting hands. But the thing is like, they'll spot you the starting hands. They don't care. You're still just going to say like, you're not allowed in my game, because what ends up happening is the players that they're playing against that are calling them nits don't get to see rivers anymore.
Right.
And that makes them feel badly. And the fact that they don't get to see rivers is somehow equated to the person on the other end being too tight. Right? Because they constantly face big bets. So they say, you're so tight, you always have it. I'm just going to keep folding and I'm never going to see any rivers and, play my trashy hands and all that shit. And I get that. They're right in what they're recognizing, but they're wrong in how they're identifying it.
It's just because that they're only putting in with the top left or like starting hand, the good starting hands, basically. So like they're never starting
as the loose passive player. Yes.
Okay.
So they think they're never being bluffed because in the games that they're used to playing, when they constantly face overbet,
it's always a nuts.
Yeah.
It's good hands, right? So if you put a guy like Jason Kuhn in there, they don't just say like, "Wow, he's insane," because like he's not necessarily mixing it up in every single hand, but all the hands that he mixes it up in, he might play for stacks.
Right.
And so like that now gets the worst qualification, I think, for a player, which is not nit, but tag. Tag is like worse than
the old
nit.
tight aggressive player.
Tag's worse than nit because nits are at least perceived to be losing. Tags are just...
Does anybody use the word tag anymore?
No, but I'm bringing it back.
Bringing back tag?
Yeah, I'm bringing it back.
All right, let's go.
I'm bringing it back, baby.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a long-winded rant to basically say that like
Oaken's a goddamn nit.
Not just Oaken. The if you go back and watch the previous Venetian streams prior to this past Saturday, those prior streams were what I am qualifying as nitty. And understand that the average VPIP across the board was probably like 35%. But the average pot size was probably, I don't know,
40K.
25 to 30% of the average pot size of the stream that we just played on Saturday.
Yeah.
And yes, we were playing 1-2-4 most of the time where they weren't. But my greater point is that if you watch this past Saturday's stream, money goes in.
They just need an igniter. They need somebody to start the fire in all these games.
Yeah, and I think that
a monkey tamer.
I think JRB wears that badge a lot, or is expected to. I think they expect him to move chips, a facilitator, distributor, But he can only do so much.
Sure.
His style is very much on par with what I just described of like the Brad Booths and the Gavin Smiths. Like
he loves to see a pre-flop hand.
Yeah, he wants to see three.
Loves the cold call.
Cold calling 3-bets, over limping big pairs, always laying in the weeds.
Yo, if I saw another fucking hand get limped, kings, jacks, queens, it was absurd.
Iwas is standing, and the opener is standing. I call in between, and he overcalls queens.
Queens, yeah. It was so good. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And the big blind called ace jack.
Yeah.
So it ends up being a single raise pot during stand up where I had king queen. That's right. I opened, he called. I opened king queen, he calls.
Chino had ace jack.
And Chino overcalls ace jack. And it's like, all three of these hands could very easily just be all over And instead, Chino just wins like a 6K pot.
Yeah, it was fucking quite impressive. I mean,
Chino's another great example. I'm not going to go so far as to say he's a nit, but he definitely falls into that camp of just loose passive until he makes something.
Maybe, yeah. I haven't seen Chino play that much. Like that was probably one of the only first times I've ever seen him on a cast stream.
Yeah,
to be honest with
you.
you.
It's been a long time. Yeah. I feel like I'm Barry Greenstein, and he was not well liked. So I am Barry Greenstein. But he used to have this website. Well, we were coming up, like right as Poker Road was, even before Poker Road developed, it was like whenever, what was the, was it Poker Road Radio?
The circuit?
Oh, the circuit. That's right. The original podcast,
right,
the circuit. Man, incredible. I mean, I wish we could replicate that.
So good.
But when the podcast first came out with Scott Huff and Gavin Smith and a few others, Barry was running this website and he ranked all of his opposition.
Yeah.
With like a letter grade, like A+ to F.
Ivy would never.
Ivy doesn't have time for.
Somebody interviewed him. He
said,
"I'm not telling you shit."
Right. Who do you fear, or something like that? He's like, I'm not gonna say it.
But yeah, like Barry would like give everybody a letter grade and kind of speak to their strengths and weaknesses, and I feel like I've accidentally fallen into that in this episode. Yeah. So maybe it is better that I just kind of
talking about strengths and weaknesses. I'm about to go on a little tangent.
Yeah.
Tangent.
You got it.
All right, cool. My vocabulary is stepping up. The commentators need to do better about the Squid Game. It's driving me insane. They're playing two different games. Normal Hold'em and Squid Game are two different games. You can't speak about them the same way. You have to pay attention. You have to push the agenda of the Squid Game. Or also, it makes everybody look stupid on both sides, commentary and like to the people that are paying attention, it's commentary. To the people that are not paying attention, it's the players.
Yeah, like when you're looking at it, they do something very unconventional to a normal game, but you don't understand the parameters of the game itself is what it was driving them to make.
It's almost like Doug Polk putting out a hit piece on me where I play Jack 4 a certain way. Never, ever once mentioning that we're playing the Jack 4 bounty for like 500.
No, you're just out there just ripping it with Jack 4.
Yeah, just running it right into Kings.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. It's not just the commentary fault. Like I think Remco and Donnie were in there this Saturday and probably every Saturday for the Venetian stream. Even Jesse, whenever he did it for the WPT stream that we filmed back in December, we all knew going into those 3 days that it was nothing but Squid. Mm-hmm. Jesse showed up and like was caught off guard. You know, like nobody had briefed him, nobody had prepped him on the rules of the version of Squid that we were playing.
If there were multipliers, what the payouts were, et cetera.
He was going into day 3 and still was like unclear of like fully how the bonus worked and all this other stuff. It's a really, really difficult undertaking. And then on top of that, it doesn't help specifically for Venetian because I think WPT and Sharehands had this fixed, but they have no graphics.
Yeah, the graphics is definitely something that needs to be done, but like,
they need as much assistance as possible in the booth because even for like bomb pots, they just kind of happen, you know. Mm-hmm. And if the commentator's not paying close attention, like, you know, if it's you and I just shooting the shit and a new dealer pushes in and they start a bomb pot and you look and all of a sudden we have a family pot, it's like, oh, family pot, and you just see it's a bunch of trash cans. If you don't deduce immediately this is a bomb pot,
then
you're just like sitting there going like, well, Brandon Stevens a little bit whaley out there with the 7-3 off, huh?
Yeah, it's just like the game is completely different, and like the audience needs to be taught that in a way. They need to be told that. They need to be. Exactly. It needs to be. You know, the conversation needs to happen that the Squid Game is going on, and this is why things may happen or whatever, because everybody's just looking real dumb.
Yeah,
in a way.
And you know, to that end, it's not like there are a lot of Squid experts out there, especially in the commentary world.
It's just me.
Right.
Just me, man. Right, I'm just hanging out here all alone.
Yeah, it's just Conrad. Just Conrad, guys.
I'm telling you, just find me a partner and we'll be good.
If anybody was looking for the guy on the bench who knows Squid better than anyone else, it's just Conrad.
I mean, who do you talk to Squid about the most? Jesus.
That's true.
It's a group chat.
Yeah, that's true. You're not going to get me in the booth. You and Laskowitz would be great.
I would love that.
You and God himself.
Would any of the players be berated at all? What would happen? You know, did he have anything nice to say about anybody?
I mean, that is kind of the other aspect of like Squid is it opens up the commentary to kind of critiquing the players in a non-helpful way that, to Conrad's point, both makes the players and the commentator look foolish because, you know, as a commentator, you want to dance around things that look foreign to you and just be like, oh, well, he's speculating and, you know, start using terms like that. It gets very difficult if you're constantly having to do that without passing some sort of judgment.
Yeah.
And then whenever you have the veil lifted of like, oh, they're playing this totally different format and there's all of this money up for grabs kind of thing.
Some guy's literally shooting for a 5x or 10x multiplier,
Right.
so he has to open 100% of hands here. Like, just a lot of shit
It
goes
would be
on.
like covering a final table, having never been introduced to ICM or the concept thereof ever in your life, you know?
It's like a day one table, and you're commentating as a final table, or the opposite. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It'd be like you commentating a final table, treating it as a day one table.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. This is no slight against Donnie and Remco or anybody else who's done commentary on Squid, but it's a very big ask, and it really is that along with the graphic packages would be a massive upgrade to anybody who's running this. And I haven't really watched any of the ACL shows where they had Squid in to see like how the commentators handle that, but. I would guess, without having seen, like sight unseen, I would guess that it's also probably pretty wonky there, even if they're aware, right? Because the strategy for it is like really unknown. And I thought Jesse did the best job I've seen because he was just really inquisitive.
Yeah.
And he also knows me really, really well. So it's very helpful that I'm the big winner and I'm doing something that Jesse can dissect in real time.
Yeah.
So he can just basically keep trying to pick my strategy apart through questions and say like, oh, I wonder what Berkey was thinking there.
You're not just being a monkey throwing shit at the wall.
Right. So it's like, he could just start with, I wonder what X, and then follow up with if I had to guess, and you give feedback that way. And it makes it better because you're bringing the audience along through a learning experience. And that's what's tough about televised poker is that you do have to educate the audience in a way that isn't necessary really in football or baseball or basketball, especially with all these new derivatives that come up. Like watching a 6-hour Squid stream is the equivalent of, working in a deuce to 7 low ball.
It's completely different.
Right. It's just a totally different game.
And like, honestly, you won't see any more streams that aren't Squid Game, stand up, or just some type of derivative.
There will always be some carnival game.
Exactly. Yeah. So like these things need to be, we need to evolve.
Yeah.
We need to evolve. Like we need to pay a lot of attention to what is going on in the game because it's 2 different ball games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's 2 different sports.
Shout out to Billy Badbutt. He has with a super chat. He said, I'd like to see the podcast tackle topics outside of poker. It's funny, Billy. I think you're the only one.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to tune into some of our sports shows or politics, by all means, go back and check out October and November. The Steelers were on a cool 8-2 streak, and we were sweating the Harris-Trump election like no other. I promise you, our viewership was down. It was down, and it was down bad, baby. It was down real bad.
But we had a lot of fun.
We did. We had a great time.
That's the important part, guys.
Don't worry, don't worry. It's almost baseball season. You'll get a nice little dose of something.
You'll get a little Shamrocks in the mix.
Yeah.
I guess let's talk about some of the hands before we get to this interview.
Yeah.
The big hand that took place was the one between me and Iwas, the new record setting.
This was interesting.
I'll say this. I don't know how much I'm going to get to play on stream. Based off of the lineups that I've seen built, I would say probably never again.
What do you mean in that type of sense?
I think that I've said it already. I think like the first 3 or 4 streams or however many were ran before this were just built like they were meant to play small and very protected. Nobody was going to get hurt.
Yeah, but guess what?
What?
Nobody's going to watch that shit. People want to see people get hurt.
People like blood.
So Oaken's going to sit his ass on the sideline,
and
you're going to take.
Stream.
What do you mean?
No, and I don't want to take over the stream. Absolutely not.
No, you don't have to take over the stream. You can just take a seat.
I don't want his job.
No, you just take his seat. He can keep his job. You got a seat.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Anyway, where was I going? Oh, if I do play a lot of hours on Venetian live stream, I would be willing to bet that in the next 6 months, I play the 10 biggest pots.
I was going to say, you just keep breaking your own record.
I would
bet, whether I'm the winner or the loser of them, I would think that my name would be included.
I bet that too, because you always have the table covered for the most part, and nobody else puts money in. So
It's like O'Neal Cruz. When you see the
a lot of people are going to get this reference.
The exit velocity. When you look at the end of the year, it's him and Stanton, and it's just the whole way down as having the the hardest hit balls of the year.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think it's easy for me to have some confidence in this. We played 100, 200 Bellagio yesterday. I played 6 pots over $100,000. And do you want to know who the other people who, like, on the list of people who played 100K pots yesterday?
Nobody.
Well, it was the 6 people I played against.
Yeah, the people who you played
It was
against.
the 6 people that I played against. There wasn't another pot over like 50K.
That didn't involve you, yeah.
Yeah.
To remove you from the equation, it's just a bunch of small
Hence why you have a Bellagio seat. Hence why you have a Venetian seat. Bye,
Yeah.
Oaken.
You call me a lot of things. Don't call me a nit.
Hey, keep folding trips in a fucking flush draw. My God.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we were playing Squid this hand. It was 100, 200, 400. I opened for 1,500. EWAS, 3 bets the 2 10s to 5K. And I think we see a cold call here from Brandon in the big blind, as well as from Pacheco.
getting
Now-
after it with that queen 10.
You're going to have to call him Ace, man. That's what's on the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know him as ace, though. That's the problem. So, obviously, I have a pretty clear 4-bet. We are like 400 big blinds effective, a little bit less, like 350. This is a no-brainer. Queens are always getting it in. So, I choose to go to 26K. The Brandon and Ace money is effectively dead.
Yeah,
Like,
it's funny because it's like, what aren't you for betting here?
Yeah, like there just aren't really traps in this scenario. So it's like, I think EWAS has like a very clear continue. Calling makes most sense. I don't think you really want to get 350 bigs in pre, but yeah, I think it's like too bad to 5-bet fold. Or it's too good to 5-bet fold, I guess is a better word.
He just has a very nice call.
Yeah,
Like, he's
he
a
has
very comfortable call
It's a
here.
clear call, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a very comfortable call and just play post.
Yeah, so these two are going to get out of the way, and the board's going to come, I think, 7-5-3 rainbow, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I think I have a 2-sizing strategy here. It's definitely a range bet board and a 4-bet pot. SPR is going to be about 1.5. So I think I have like a 2-sizing strat where I would just play either 3E or 2E. So hands like aces, ace 5, ace king, without backdoor flush draws would probably play the 3E strat. And then hands like jacks, queens, ace king suited would play the 2E. Ace king suited with the backdoor would play the 2E sizing strat. Thoughts being that like these are the hands that want to fast track and be all in on the turn as often as possible. We want to try to capture as much EV as possible from his pocket pairs while denying equity to his overcards. For Eric here facing third pot,
This is where things are funky.
yeah, I don't even know that I play 3E. 1.5 SPR would be really hard.
It just seems to just 2E everything.
Yeah, I think 3E would have to be like
30%.
Do you have any
Is it?
checks?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
no.
but
I think 2E is third pot. Because if he
well, that's what you bet here, right? You bet a third.
yeah, so if he were to call here, there'd be
60,
106
144.
in the middle, and he would have 75 back. So that sets up. Yeah, I guess I did. I guess I went with a smaller size here, setting up like 60% turn jam. So yeah, 2E is probably like 40%. 3E is probably like 20-25%, something like that. I think he has a very clear call. I don't think 10s are good enough to jam here, even though I'm very, very, very wide for betting in Squid.
The problem with it is that anytime you put another chip in, he's dead. I think when he
I don't have
jams.
nines.
Well, yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Like when he jams, he's dead.
Only
Like when you get
better
called.
call and worse
Yes.
fold.
I could have ace 5 with the backdoor,
But like
But
you're not
that's it.
calling.
but that's it. No, I would have to call it off.
You'd call it off. Okay,
you have to.
So all right, so that's the only
He's
hand.
jamming for like half pot. Like
Yeah, sure.
you can't bet fold a hand that high up.
Yeah, but that's like the only hand that you do this with when it comes
Yeah.
down to it. And like the other way.
But he denies the equity to like ace king, ace queen, which is somewhat important. I mean, it's a valid argument for 10s, but I think it misses the complexity of the strategy. He's at stone bottom with his showdown value hands,
Yeah.
right? I wouldn't consider a hand like ace queen to have any showdown value at this point.
Agreed.
I might have some worse, but it's going to be like impossible to realize, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like 10s is like his worst pair, almost certainly. Maybe he has 9s a little bit of the time. But in any event, you need some hands that call flop to fold turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just have to, that has to be baked into like any sort of balanced strategy. And because 10s are losing to so many overpairs, you don't really want to deny me the equity of my bluffs, because either you're going to mix call again and have to beat those bluffs, or you're going to want to get saved some of the time when the turn is an ace or a king, and you now have your worst pocket pair.
Yeah, I was watching this and I was like, man, he really just has like a really nice call here. Like,
yeah,
but
it
comes down to it.
Even with Squid and the dynamic, I think calling here all the time is probably torching. Maybe against me though, it's okay. I'm wide. It's gotta
be. You gotta continue.
I'm very wide.
You can't shut down here, really.
I'm openly admitting here I would have been very wide because Brandon and Pacheco's money
so
to me
much
is,
free money.
I just think it's dead.
Yeah.
So it's just like with 12,000 in the middle that is just like up for grabs. That's 30 straddles. You know, it's just like it's just way too free. And I think people think like, oh, okay, so there's 30 straddles in the middle. You're just going to torch off 350 bigs?
Yes.
It's like, no, I'm not going to torch it. I'm just going to have an ace and try to win the pot now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 30 big blinds is a huge overlay. And it's like, if you can win that 30 blinds half the time, it's very much worth taking the risk with a hand that has at minimum 30% equity.
Some people see that as torts. I see that as poker.
Right. Right. Well, this again comes back to the idea of putting enough money in spots where it qualifies to put a lot of money in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you were playing a big blind ante of 30 bigs, you would just be all in a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
For 300 big blinds, like it would just be like raise jam.
And if you're not going to, please get in my inbox. I have a game starting tomorrow.
Right. Right. I'm over exaggerating like how aggressive it would play with an ante that size, but it would be just like a lot of pre-flop, and you would be all in, cards on their back, run the equities, a fucking ton.
It would just be short
because
deck.
30 blinds is so much dead money.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
It's just impossible not to fight for it. So when situations like those overcalls out of position come up, like we were talking on break and I was like, yeah, man, like I definitely have like ace 10, ace jack off there, like hands like that. They're no brainers. And if I open a hand like even ace 5 off, I probably just 4-bet it. He's like, no, like, what are you talking about? You can just close the action with all those things. Like,
hell no.
I don't want to close the action.
Right.
And then like
You
you
want all that
continue,
dead money out
and
there.
whenever you pick up a flush draw or something on the turn, you just continue and jam.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
just has
I'll
a
have
very-
some shutdowns, but it's like,
Who cares?
I'll
He
also
wins.
just have like some blast offs. You know?
Like, but he's in position, so like when you shut down, he just wins the pot.
Right.
So it's just like a very comfortable spot for him, I think, when just calling flop.
Yeah, the more I speak out loud about it, I actually don't think there's anything he could have done wrong with 2 10s there other than fold.
Yeah, sure.
When I say fold, I mean like pre. You know, just like facing the 27K and just being like, there's better spots. And just mucking.
No, there isn't.
Right. So it's just like this hand is so good in this particular situation.
Yeah.
It's just kind of unfortunate that you run into the top. But I do think that there's ways to play it such that you're compensated for the times that you run into the top of my range. And that's what's like most important here. It's like you have a hand that ranks very low as far as like your stack off threshold goes. And you want to ensure that you don't play the hand in such a way that it's only jacks or better that are getting the money in with you.
So it's like your best bluff catcher.
It's not your best by any stretch. It's just the bottom of your bluff catcher.
Yeah.
It's the hand that will transition from bluff catcher to fold as opposed to anything else.
Yeah. But
Like,
what do you mean compensate? Do you mean like he plays in a way where like
like I can still jam turn with ace king.
right? Making sure you're the one as the aggressor, not
Exactly.
pushing you into like.
Well, if he jams and I
value
fold
hands.
ace king, that's pretty much a net negative if I had intentions to otherwise jam ace king
Yeah.
on the turn.
Yeah.
Right. And I have hands way worse than ace king.
He's funneling him into better hands only.
Right.
When he
For the
jams
most part.
flop.
Right.
For the
If he can like convince himself that I have a 5 or
Or
I have 9s or
nines,
8s,
sure.
but even if like I have a 5, that's a hand that's going to stack off somehow anyway.
Yeah. So it's like whatever.
And you just have me dead. If I have like 9s or 8s, like sure you don't want an overcard to come, but like what am I going to do? Like c-bet third with 9s or 8s and then just like check fold on a turn jack?
Yeah.
Basically, I think anything that you have that has any type of continuing power there, you just follow through.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot because in theory, I'm range betting that board.
Yes.
But in theory, I can't be as wide as I am.
Yes.
My actual 4-bet range here is probably at the same width of what a 3-bet range would be.
Yeah.
So it becomes a lot more interesting if you, instead of looking at a 4-bet and a call, you look more so at like a 3-betting range and then some hybrid, 3-bet call-ish type of range where it's a little bit more linear than usual.
Is this too much?
Like he might just have like, king, queen or queen, jack suited where that probably isn't in very often versus 4.
And this is just what happens when there's so much dead money in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's
the
dead
natural
fucking money. They don't have any hands here, ever.
It's not that they don't have hands. There's just no traps.
Well, I mean,
there's no hands that can like put all the money in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They were limping kings, jacks, and aces, and all this other shit. So who fucking knows, to be honest with you?
My point is like they might have some suited aces. They might have some small pairs. They might have like there's plenty of playability to their range.
Yeah.
But like facing 4-bet, that money just is getting zapped up. Like they're just not going to be able to continue.
Especially 4-bet call.
Yeah. Well, they want to gamble.
I was going to say, it might give them more reason.
If either of them had a small pair, I think we would have went 3 ways.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But then it becomes the same thing. It's like, okay, that's a board that smashes the overcaller's range. He probably makes a set here a lot. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You're just still going through.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you have no choice.
100,000 in the pot. You have.
Hello.
It's like, what about all the times they didn't make a set? Like.
We're not going to leave this up to choice. Guessing.
Not gonna not make money the times that I have them beat.
Yeah.
In order to try to save money the times that I'm beaten because I'm probably paying off anyway.
And then the times that they have like just like the pairs or whatever in brick and we have like ace high or something like that, still like we're cleaning up money here.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, we're going to bet third pot and try to take this motherfucker down.
Yeah, so it's...
or try to suck out for cheap, that type of stuff. Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting one. Honestly, not that deep of a hand for the quote unquote biggest pot ever played.
I mean, it's got to build. It's got to build. We need some more. We need some more fire. We need some more players in there. That isn't oaken.
Well, once when the game gets back to being run by mom instead of the fun stepdad,
it's over.
We're gonna be back to 1-2, man.
Oh no, fun stepdad only.
Fun stepdad.
Yeah,
he's like, this is a 1-2 game. Absolutely. No straddles, and he like refused to straddle for the first half of the night, and then later he goes, "All right, 800 is the cap on the straddles."
Love fun stepdad.
And then suddenly Pacheco has the 3200 on.
Love to see it. Only so much you can do, right?
That's what I said. I was like, just let it go, buddy.
Yeah.
Let it go. For this night only, the inmates are running the asylum. And to be clear, you're an inmate. Let's not pretend that you're a good old JRB in charge here, Charles in charge is left with the flight over to Europe.
How long is he gone for?
I think he's back this week.
What the fuck? We only get one fun week?
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun while it lasted. All right.
I had a good time. I gave all those winnings back to my friends at the Bellagio.
It's nice of you. It's very nice of you to go to the be a monkey tamer for a day and then go,
Guapo was really giving me shit
friends.
On pre-production.
What happened?
I called too fast with a straight.
Oh, this hit.
The funny part
is a fucking doom and gloom.
The funny part is I thought he was like mad at me because I like somehow embarrassed this guy by me calling too fast or whatever. He's
no, it's just listen.
He goes, no, flush got there.
I don't participate very often in our chat, but I was like excited to watch this stream.
I appreciate that, by the way.
This ace of diamonds hits. And I'm like, okay.
By
my calculation, when the guy shoves here, when the diamond hits, it's like always a flush, and you beat him into the pot.
I have a 5-card hand, my friend.
Yeah, I get it.
I went crazy on Guapa. What did I say?
Oh, that's another thing. If anybody wants to know how to tilt me, use words like always and never describing my poker game, and it'll tilt the absolute shit out of me.
I'm not fucking wrong. You always think of the worst case scenario.
No, he never does.
Single time. It's like, oh my God, how can my head be chopped off here?
Conrad truly lives at the end of the spectrum. Listen, for sure. Like the way he talks, he is just absolutely full polar.
All right, but you know what? You are right. But in Guapo's case, in these scenarios, he always thinks of the worst case scenario.
Right. In Guapo's defense, though, he's been playing like 100 NL for like a decade.
A decade.
Right. And they literally always have it.
Yeah, but the problem is this is what Just Pay was born out of.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if you find yourself folding those straights in that particular spot, like, I don't think you're doing yourself a service. You didn't like get one over on the guy where you're like, man, I know you got it. Because the thing is like some frequency he's going to overvalue a hand that you beat. You know, he's going to jam a set or he's going to jam ace five. That wasn't a bluff.
Oh yeah, he was value betting.
Yeah, like that's clear. Like I sucked out on an overpair,
right? Type
of play, and it's just like really critical. The funny part is like Guapo wants me to no, it doesn't want me, but he thought I might fold a straight here, where my man Peter's jamming 2 pair, hoping to get called by worse. and to be fair, I don't think. I guess if I have a hand like 7-6, I could probably, or 6-5, I could probably pretty easily find myself calling, because like, what the fuck?
Might have some ace X.
And this gentleman is a fun player, right?
Yeah.
They're all fun players. Look at the fucking game.
That is true.
Jesus.
I had fun. I did have fun.
The game is a fucking zoo.
The game is afoot.
One way or another.
Now we're playing the game, boys. I don't know why Jeremy just got the Oaken voice. But yeah, I would never fold a set there, because my logic was when he check calls the turn with less than pot behind, he never has a straight. And I know always never, blah, blah, rarely does he slow play a straight here. And then as far as diamonds go, it's really hard for him to hit running flush here, given how low the SPR was going to the flop. So it was a 3-bet pot with stand-up game on. For him to hit a backdoor passively like this, check call, you would think that he has some showdown value on the turn, because if he just picks up diamonds with like king, queen of diamonds, you would want to be all in, because at least then you could rep an 8, you know?
The only hand would be like 9-8 or 7-8 of diamonds.
Yeah, if he was going to slow play a straight that then became a flush. I think he could also have like 9-10 of diamonds.
Yeah.
Obviously ace-9 of diamonds, ace-7 of diamonds.
Well, not river.
Right, that's the thing.
Exactly.
The river reduces all those combinations. So it's just like there are very few flushes that get here. I guess there's a chance that he could like miss the jam with jack 10 of diamonds. That could maybe be in range. He could have like king 9, queen 9 some of the time. There's maybe a handful of flushes, but like not enough for me to care.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pay that man his fucking money.
Like you could say he's never bluffing, and you know what I mean? Like you could just say like, oh man, he's never bluffing there. It's like, well, maybe you're right, but maybe he's just overvaluing something, which in this instance he was. And to be fair, I said it would be hard for him to have backdoor diamonds here, but he got to the river with ace-5 of clubs. So I'm not going to put anything past him. But
good point.
But to that end, if he's wide enough to have ace-5 of clubs here, then again, the amount of flushes that he retains in his range is such a low concentration that I just don't care, right? And when somebody break flows and donk jams on a quote-unquote scare card, it's like, buddy, you got my money, man. Like, this isn't the time where I'm going to become a hero.
Take it from me.
Especially for like 80% pot.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
Jam, by the way, was this the second biggest pot in Venetian history?
Probably.
Wait, how big was this?
96 too.
No,
actually, no. I'm
no.
sorry. It's because you.
It should be 100.
The jam was
140?
46, so yeah.
Yeah, like 140.
So that's
probably
at least
close.
top 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 5 for sure.
Try to just checking them off the off the list. Who else did I stack in that session? Maybe I got up there another time. Yeah, that one. Whatever. I expected to win almost always. I could take my time, but like for what?
Right. That's the thing. It's just like when you just know,
let fear
there's
creep in.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Then you do something stupid and talk yourself out of it. Somehow.
Yeah. Or like,
Anybody got
make a
time for
mystery.
that? Pay the man and move on.
Yeah. I had already made my mind up on the turn. Like the turn sizing is what dictates the river play.
Yeah.
Had he checked me, I would have jammed for value, even though I don't have a diamond. The river's a heart. I think it's a lot closer because, like I said, I think it's easier for him to get to the river with hearts with the front door. So even though I have the 8 of hearts, I don't know that that's that relevant of a card. I just don't think he has much 8x in range as played. But yeah, you know, like that's the nature of no limit hold'em, baby. And again, like I think playing heads up really helps you understand these concepts because like the way Guapo's framing it is that there's only 2 hand classes that you arrive to river with.
and the nuts.
It's flushes.
You're not allowed to talk anymore.
It's like you only arrive at the river with 2 hand classes. It's flushes and then everything that's not a flush. And they all rank the same. So a straight 1 pair, 2 pair, you know, doesn't really make a difference because they're not flushes. And flushes are what value bet here.
Right.
You know.
But in the games Guapo plays in, that's probably true a lot.
Guapo
Yeah, that could be true.
Guapo wasn't even thinking about a jack high flush. He was only thinking about a king high flush because that's enough.
It's only the nuts.
Yeah, it might be a little bit shook
Only
with
the nuts.
Berkey has the queen eye flush. He's like, why did you snap call? Dude, he could have just had the king eye flush.
Right, the actual hand classes on the river are the different levels of flushes. It's like, well, there's the nut flush, then there's the middling flush that blocks straights.
Do you guys want to know the favorite part of the stream? Everybody laughed at the way I play poker. It was great.
You know what my favorite
Put
parts
it in the archives.
My favorite parts of the stream?
What?
JRB going from
Loser to winner?
losing.
Same.
He wasn't even winning. He was fucking breaking even.
Yeah.
But the smile on my man's face that grew was fucking amazing.
Same fucking guy, win or lose, man. Same fucking guy. Nothing changes.
So fucking good.
Absolutely
I loved every
nothing
moment of
changes. Yeah, it was a fun stream. I had a good time. Hopefully, I'll get back in the mix at some point in the future.
You want a fucking mansion in Idaho.
The funny part is that
of course you had a good time.
The funny part is I think that the narrative that we'll build is like, oh, we want to see Berkey and Oaken battle. It's like, I don't want that.
Well, Oaken has to battle for that.
No, he's a nit.
My boy, he has to battle.
I think it's not. You want to know why the banter is so good between me and Oaken? I don't even know the good is the right word. It's honestly like mean.
I love it.
But it's a byproduct of like me being so fucking tilted at how tight he plays. You know, it's just like, why are you here occupying a goddamn chair? Somebody else who like voluntarily puts money in the pot could be here instead. And instead, you know, I got to listen to you fucking needle me about the most inane things on the planet while you're folding your way to freedom. And it's like, I can't fucking take it, man. I can't take it. Like, I play a lot of hands. I really don't want to have to.
You don't play with low volume players.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Tortoise. These low volume players out of here.
Nobody wants that shit.
God damn it. All right. Let's switch gears a little bit. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we were joined by 2 very special guests today. Caitlin Komeski, PokerStars ambassador, and Padraig O'Neill, who is a Paddy Power ambassador. They're going to be telling us all about this contest we were running in order to give away an Emerald Pass to the Irish Poker Open. So if you guys wanted to see Ireland and maybe do a little bit of gambling while you're there, we're just the stream for you. You can head over to our Twitter page at onlyfriends_pod, and you'll see the contest details there. It comes back up in the interview as well, so you'll get more details. Let's go ahead and cut to Caitlin and Padraig.
She's here. We can hear you.
If you can get that confidence monitor back up, that'd be wonderful. Sorry about that, Caitlin. Your test would have been a great idea.
You know, sometimes I bring some good ideas to the table, but they do come through the filter of me being a woman, so I understand that was hard for you to hear.
Wow.
That was good.
Amazing.
That was good.
In my defense.
That was strong.
It had nothing to do with your gender and everything to do with the fact that we were already running late.
That honestly tracks. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see you. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from my home in New Jersey. I just got done with my run good stop in Tunica, Mississippi. I woke up in Tunica this morning at 4 a.m. and hopped on a flight to be here so that I could assure there'd be no technical difficulties with me trying to call from the airport or anything.
Where are you in Jersey?
I'm in New Jersey. I live in West New York, New Jersey, which
I
is
lived there for years, West New York. I lived on 61st and Jefferson. So
I live at 51st Street as well. That's crazy. Well, maybe
funny.
I shouldn't dox myself. Yeah,
there's so many good food places, like just little Spanish spots there. I'll send you a text.
I can't wait.
There's so much good food there.
Congratulations on your recent engagement. I don't think we've seen you since.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
This was very low key. I didn't even know that you were dating someone.
Well, it was really quick. I was looking for a guy who had like a job and hobbies and was obsessed with me, and I found it, and so we locked it down, you know?
Yeah, no, that part, very...
When you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like, I'm in my late 30s, he's in his early 40s, so when you know what you're looking for and you find it, there's no need for pretenses. Let's just get this over with, okay?
You're in your late 30s?
That's what I was thinking, like, what?
You're close to my age?
I'm 36 in May.
That's not late. That's mid 30s.
What are we talking about here?
Trying to say like she's 39.
30s.
If I told you motherfuckers I was 36, you guys would definitely call me in my late 30s.
Well, that's different.
I'm pretty sure you did.
You're withered and washed.
Right,
that's why.
You wish. I'm just getting started, baby. Just fucking started.
Do we have Podrick yet or no?
Yeah.
I'm here. Awesome. Does my sound okay?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry, it was definitely on our side. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling us from?
Ireland, right beside this Irish Open.
Oh, hell yes.
I'm going to turn off a light. It seems very bright all of a sudden.
Yes, it's good on our end though. You're authenticating us for St. Patrick's Day, so appreciate the ability to actually call this now an Irish show. Mm-hmm. So you are a Paddy Power ambassador, and you're coming to us from the homeland. Tell us a little bit about the Irish Open while we got you, because I think those of us over in the States that haven't made it have no idea what the experience is like.
Yeah, so an awful lot of Americans do come. I've been given talking points, but I've attended the last 10 years. It's a great event. It's the second longest running poker tournament in the world after the World Series. It's a 1K main event. There was 3,200 runners last year, and this year they've added in $1 million guaranteed mystery bounty and some 5 and 10Ks. So it's kind of edging towards more like an EPT festival.
That sounds amazing.
It's amazing. I think Stars have qualified over 1,000 people. Paddy Power have done a few hundred as well. It's going to be great. Yeah.
How long is that flight? you got me thinking now.
Well, you're on the West Coast, so it's a little bit,
All right,
10 hours. I've done it a few times, obviously.
That shit's nothing. I might be there.
I'll go to Ireland.
Yeah, I think I'll go. How's the Mexican food out there, Padrick? I think your face just told me.
I got to tell you, I'd be happy to visit Ireland if ever there's a palate that fits me incredibly well.
Meat and potatoes, baby.
Meat and potatoes is right up my alley.
Yeah.
The Steelers are playing there this fall.
They are.
Can we bump this Irish Open to maybe September sometime?
Yeah, that's going to be a regular thing, right? Like once a year, we're going to get a game, or once every couple of years.
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably like one of the best places for an NFL game, or just like sports in general. I feel like you guys are very,
When the McAfee Show did their live presentation last year from Ireland, they got blacked out on live TV.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They did it from a pub, and they just got blacked out on live TV.
And Nick Saban's just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
Sounds like me and Nikki at the GPS.
Every year, Caitlin. I'm sorry to miss it this year.
Oh my gosh, I'm bracing myself for the intervention. I think it was even worse. But I did make sure that you got your steak invite. I was trying to get you back for that steak once and for all. I finally got a checking account where I can buy Berkey a steak. Let's go.
Sure enough, I was busy losing a small house. Apologies, I couldn't make it. So, Padraig, how big exactly is poker over there? Because 3,000 was not a number I was expecting to hear for a main event. Like, I wouldn't imagine there would be a poker place that would be able to host that.
Yeah, so all the events are kind of hosted in massive function rooms in hotels, but this is in there's no poker room that could host that. I think the biggest poker room might have 7 or 8 tables. Yeah, it's pretty big. Culturally, you would start playing cards, not poker, but different card games in your youth. And there's a big population of poker players. I think there's like 50 or so that come for the World Series every year. And there's events on every week in Ireland. So 50k, 100k guarantees, smaller events. Mm-hmm. And the Irish Open's by far the biggest. So this is once a year.
Is this the only major that like runs? It's just one time a year. Everything else is kind of just like your normal like local stuff.
There is a 3k. I think it has like $1 million guarantee in November. And the EPT has come here maybe twice. So we sometimes get the EPT.
All right, now I'm on a mission. If I can talk to the Stars people to align the EPT with the Steelers game.
Now we're going. You'll be there.
I'm already like, there's 50% chance that I go to that game.
Yeah?
I'm happy to have an excuse to go to Ireland. But if we can match poker with the Steelers, now it's 100% chance.
Right.
Like, I could definitely be all in. And, if we can then drag Caitlin along to be our tour guide. Because...
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Caitlin, but you're for sure like 95% Irish?
Yes, I am Irish. Both my first name and my last name are as Irish as can be.
Yeah, I thought Comeski was...
Comeski is how Dara tells me I should be pronouncing it. Or not Dara, David Lappin.
Yes. Okay, so I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. While we're on the subject of exactly how Irish everybody is, I believe, I don't know if we're doing this giveaway, you're doing this giveaway. I think that you are somewhat in charge as the Stars ambassador here.
Yes, you're a conduit of the contest for sure. A vessel, if you will.
Perfect. So if you guys would like a chance to win an Emerald Pass, which maybe you can give some details to what that is.
Yeah, so you get buy-ins to the event and you get a budget for travel. It's your Emerald Pass. They call it Emerald because of Ireland.
How much budget for travel? Because I might win this thing.
You don't qualify.
I don't have those exact facts and figures in front of me, but we're going to get you to Ireland, baby. Rest assured. Rest assured.
Okay, so we're running a contest over on our Twitter page. You can head to @onlyfriends_pod. You have 1 week to make your submission. Winners will be chosen next Monday, and we'll announce them here on the pod as well as on Twitter. It's How Irish Are You?
12.5%.
You think you got the luck of the Irish? Maybe you're second generation, can down a pint of Guinness without wincing, or once accidentally called somebody grand in a conversation. Whatever you claim your Irishness, serious or completely ridiculous, we want to hear it. Tell us how you really are. Tell us how Irish you really are for a chance to win an epic Emerald Pass package. Play the Irish Poker Open main event. It's 2.5 million. Is that pound or euro? I always get those confused.
Euro.
Euro?
Is it an E or now?
Which one's stronger these days?
Euro.
Okay.
The dollar, USA.
It's gonna be big.
We're promoting Europe. My bad.
So if you guys want to head over there, start to get your submissions in. I think we're gonna play a fun game here with Padraig. He's gonna let us know how Irish we are. So I'm told that you're gonna read out phrases in Gaelic. And Klingon. What is Klingon? Klingon is Star Trek. Isn't that Star
Trek, right?
So the issue here is I just know from popular culture. I've never seen the show. So Klingon, I'm just going to read it from my phone. I have no idea.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay. So are we trying to determine the difference between an Irish phrase?
Is it Klingon or is it IC?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, look, I got to tell you, this wasn't my idea, so I was equally confused. But okay, all right. I think I'm going to be good at this. I know Irish people.
Yeah.
I'm 12
We grew up
I
around
can't
Irish people.
imagine you mistaken me saying Klingon for Irish. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, you should have.
So
We should have went with Scottish or Irish because in that instance, I'm lost.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be better.
Let's get to the game.
Okay. I'm just gonna start off. Tá an talum no féidir nach will.
All right. By your inability to pronounce it, that's for sure Klingon.
No.
You trolled us?
Oh, he's bluffing.
That is good.
I decided to read both of them out. So I didn't want to just say the Gaelic.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just reading it word for word here.
Okay.
And and I haven't spoken Irish in about 10 years, so yeah.
Okay. So wait, what's the Gaelic phrase here?
I am lucky, or maybe I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tá an talum no féidir nach will.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to put that one in my memory bank.
Yeah.
That's the one that means I'm lucky or I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it in your memory
Talum.
bank. I'll give you $1,000 if you repeat it one time right now.
Totem
Totem pole. You know what? I'll rewatch this. We'll work on it after the fact, Caitlin. Don't worry about it. I'll spell it too.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
I had
Strong.
a poker player friend who was an Irish teacher in a past life, so I've been practicing my Irish, and he was like, he wasn't happy at the start, but he was happy enough at the end product right now. I hope when he watches this, he might be starting to give out to me. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. What do we got next?
Okay, I'll try our next one. Ecap pa G luj.
You just spit on somebody?
That sounds Klingon to me.
I feel
I
like there was
agree. I
like a
think this is
K
Klingon.
sound
Yeah.
that doesn't happen in Gaelic in that one,
Yeah.
maybe. That felt more Klingon to me.
Caitlin's so smart. I'm with whatever she says goes. This is
Yeah, the
Klingon.
glottal stop. You just throw in like a few extra syllable words. Berkey is like follow you into war. He's ready.
Yeah, that's Klingon.
Okay.
I win or I lose. And I'm not sure did I pronounce it okay. Someone in the chat might be very into this language and might tell me.
I truly did not know that they made up a fucking language for a show.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Me neither. I never watched
I'm not
the
a
show.
Trekkie. I'm sure that there are people in the chat. Shout out to Efro. I don't know why.
Always Efro.
I don't know why, but you know, I just expect.
Watch him be super offended. He's like, I don't know anything about Klingon. I speak Elvish, Matthew.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yes.
Right. All right. What do we got next?
Okay. Tomokri Egbula Nistapula Nomo Karti.
Oh, Irish all the way, right?
Yeah,
gotta be
that's
Gaelic.
definitely Gaelic.
Yeah.
That was
for
like
sure.
sing-songy, like a cereal jingle.
That means my heart is beating faster than my cards, which we can all relate to.
Yeah.
That's a nice phrase.
Speak
Like-
for
We gotta
yourself.
say, we're dead inside
Yeah,
around here.
some of us haven't had a heartbeat in many, many years.
So dead.
I get that. Yeah. Okay, we'll try another one.
All right.
Vidaf Cho Nakle Vitek.
That's Klingon
That's
for
gotta be-
sure.
I think that's Gaelic.
I fear this game has gotten a little easy.
I think
So
it's
Berkey's the
Klingon.
only one who got anything wrong. Okay, that was the first one he got wrong. I've only been given 4 phrases, and that's all I'm reading out.
Respect.
What did that mean?
That meant
Wait, was it Klingon?
if you were
or was it-
bluffing,
no, it's
I will
Klingon.
tear your head off.
Say it again.
Say the phrase again.
Yes, I need to learn
This
it.
is the one we need to learn, actually.
I will. I'll email phrase to you.
Okay. Hey Siri, can you Google Klingon for if you're bluffing, I will tear your head off. So what are the dates for the Irish Open?
We got starting off Thursday the 10th. It's not the main event starting then, and it goes all the way to the 21st of April. So it's Easter time every year in Ireland. So it's a bank holiday. We can have the weekend off and play poker.
That's great to know because I didn't know when Easter was this year, and
late this year.
You just let me know.
What airport is closest?
Dublin Airport is very close.
All right. Let's see.
If you think Conrad isn't Googling flights, you're sadly mistaken. Caitlin, when are you heading out there?
I'm going to be there for the whole time. I'm going to be there April 10th through April 21st. Marley and I are hosting or co-captaining a team for the Shamrock Showdown. So one of the fun things we do once we're on site as the PokerStars ambassador team is we do this thing called the Shamrock Showdown. So we're going to be competing both in poker. So there'll be like a point system where you get stuff for poker, but then there are also going to be a lot of fun and silly challenges where, this birthday clown will really get to shine and pull her weight on the Shamrock Showdown team. So
they used to do similar things. They used to do similar things back in the Run It Up Reno days. They would like have it wasn't like a bar crawl, but it was like sort of in the same vein, and they would do like bowling and like trivia night and all these other things. Karaoke night. I don't remember if it was like to compete for prizes or not, but like I like the idea of adding a little bit of fun to these trips.
Berkey.
No, this is my first Irish Open that I've been to, and everything I've heard about this event is just like it's a once in a lifetime, like friendly environment. Everyone in the room has a pipe. They have sort of a players lounge that they call the Cracked In, and that's CRA weird IC. But the notion of saying that I'm gonna be hanging out at the Cracked In all day seems super fun and chill. And
you've never been to Ireland before, right?
I definitely went like as a 12-year-old, like in middle school with my mom, but I haven't been
because of your Irish roots.
Right.
No, I think she wanted to get drunk on a cruise while my dad and my brother went fishing is what I think that was about.
It costs a rack. We can leave on April 10th.
Yeah.
Be back on the 21st. $1,000 flight, 10 hours nonstop.
Wow.
April's pretty busy for me, man.
All right, well then fuck you. I'm going myself. I tried.
We got this podcast.
I'll call in.
I would love to go at some point in time. I don't know that you're gonna get me there for this one. Although I don't know, man.
Just bring the whole podcast.
Yeah. Let's just
everybody just get up and go.
Worked real well.
You can all stay on my floor in my room. Europe is known for the huge, amazing hotel rooms, so you'll stay in my huge hotel room on my floor in like little balls, like kitty cats.
That just reminded me of a story, and I don't even know how accurately I'm gonna get these details. So pardon me if I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty certain. Back when I was living with Dan O'Brien, like 2013, maybe 2014, something like that, I'm pretty positive he went to the Irish Poker Open with his good friend Wes. Thank you, Uncle Dan. And I'm pretty sure Wes was just like crashing on Dan's floor, and he ended up like getting to know. Maybe Podrick would know, but there was an Irish reporter. She used to work for Card Player. She actually gave me my first ever on-camera interview when I went deep in the main event in 2010, but I can't recall her name. Anyway, they hit it off.
Nisi.
No. I know Laura.
Okay.
They ended up hitting it off and got married, like shortly thereafter. So I'm pretty sure that's the happy story that I recall from the Irish Poker Open that I've never been to. Pretty sure, not positive.
Are you trying to say you're going to find a wife?
No.
There was someone won it and proposed to their girlfriend, who is now their wife, Ian
Really?
Simpson. Yeah,
That's incredible. Oh, I know. I know Ian.
Oh, that's
He's
my
great.
You
cousin.
know Ian, yeah.
No, Ian's not your cousin.
That's not my cousin?
No, Ian's not.
Oh,
your
yeah,
cousin.
Simpson's from my black side. My bad.
Right. Right, of course. I would be going simply for the fine cuisine. Give me all of the fish and potatoes and
I love fish.
whatnot.
I love meat. I'm in. I'm sold, I'm sold. Just anybody want to come with me?
Before we get out of here, Podrick, I can't entrust Caitlin with this task. She's failed me too many times in the past. If Conrad makes his way to Ireland,
he's not coming back.
Can you please ensure that he stays out of jail? And And,
sure,
you know,
you're gonna have to stay out of the crack den, I guess.
Yeah, like, get them drunk. That's fine.
I don't drink anymore.
Know what you're getting yourself into. Well, I mean, to be fair, Guinnesses are really meals there.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
I mean, I would partake in obviously the traditional things.
Right,
obviously,
Yes,
I'm not a prude or anything.
So, you know, look, he's gonna do. I don't want to see him. You know,
There's like a 75% chance I come.
that's why I'm asking. This is a sincere plea to our new friend Podrick to not just show you around, but to.
It's kind of hard to get too drunk that you're arrested. Like it's going to be very hard to be the drunkest guy in the room here.
I'm telling you, that is not my concern at all. My concern is that, you know, it's Thursday. No one knows where Conrad is. And there happens to be a guy who somewhat resembles him sleeping in a hotel lobby somewhere, having wet his pants.
I have never done that.
At least 3 out of the 4 things of those have occurred.
I have slept in a hotel lobby before, but that's just because I couldn't find keys or something along those lines.
Where's my car, dude? Caitlin, I would trust you to do this, but, you know, I know better.
True.
I can't keep anyone out of jail, and I don't pretend to. I am a agent of chaos and mischief, and I will flame those fires.
Yeah. Well,
Caitlin has to worry about her damn self.
Right. Well, I've got you. Actually, let me throw a request your way. When Conrad makes it to Ireland, will you and Marley please do your best over the 11 days or so to make a skit? Just follow him around with a camera and then turn it into what you two happen to do with comedic art.
That would be a good one.
I mean, I could put him in one of the sketches we're filming, but it would require him to be somewhere in the morning at an allotted time.
Well, that's fine. He probably won't have slept yet.
I wake up at 5 a.m. anyway.
It's true. His sleep schedule is not great.
I sleep 3 hours a day.
I appreciate you both coming on and briefing us on this. Again, for anybody who wants a chance to go to Ireland, head over to our Twitter page at onlyfriends_pod. Just let us know how Irish you are. The more creative you are, the more likely you are to get chosen. I think this is going to be a fun contest to see what everybody comes up with, how creative they can possibly get. Don't use Grok. We're going to know. You know, I'm like a substitute teacher, okay? I'm going to run that shit through the AIs. All right? Like, I can spot an AI answer from a mile away.
Right.
Before we get you guys out of here, anything else that you want to plug or let us know?
Yes. So I have a challenge going on my stream right now. It's the Code Caitlin Challenge. This is for Scoop US in North America, which is going to be from March 21st through April 6th. If you use the deposit code STARS Caitlin, not only are you entered to win a main event seat, a chance at, you're also entered to win a share of $10,000, one person from each North American liquidity, in the event that I win a Scoop event on my live stream. And I will be live streaming most of the whole Scoop series at the end of the month. The main is going to be on April 6th. There's going to be a small, medium, and large event across the liquidities. There's over guarantees of 5.75 million. So again, you have until March 21st. If you are in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ontario, or Michigan, use the deposit code STARS Caitlin, and you are entered to win all these fun prizes, including the cash if I win a Scoop event on my stream, which put it in the bag, y'all. It's happening.
When you win. Yeah.
When I win. Thank you. Thank you, BB.
Right. I think it'll be like the Deuce to 7 low ball event, if I had to guess.
How do you know I love that game? Have I talked about it an obnoxious amount to you?
No, I randomly picked a game that I didn't think you'd ever played before.
It's like one of the only variants besides Hold'em that I'm proficient at in the least.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
I had to learn how to play it to get into like a juicy cash game in Austin back when I was like a full-time grinder.
Did you just say you're proficient at Hold'em?
Wow. Wow. Okay, Caitlin, I take it back. When Conrad makes it to Ireland, you be sure to let him find his way into a gutter.
Funny, like I have this patch on me, Conrad. Do you have one like that?
Oh. Nope, I just got these nice.
I think that means proficient at something.
Podrick, you got anything before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I'm just promoting the Irish Open. Every Thursday I'm doing a stream and it's 900 added. So if you can play on Paddy Power, come on along, play on the stream, and it's 900 added for the next couple of weeks before the Irish Open.
Am I allowed to VPN in?
Nope.
No.
I'm just asking, I'm just saying. I got
It's a
questions.
great ambassador right there. Great answer. Where can we find your stream at?
Porrick O'Neill Poker. It's on Twitch.
Oh, okay, awesome. And you're mostly doing YouTube, Caitlin?
I'm Caitlin Texas Poker, and I stream simultaneously to YouTube and Twitch.
Oh,
so
my.
Caitlin Texas Poker.
Oh, fancy. All right, if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out both Caitlin and Podrick's live streams. It looks like they're going to be getting after it. We might just go to Ireland. I don't know.
April 10th, $1,000 is the flight. We get a room. I'll sleep on the floor. We out.
I don't have a lot of confidence in either of their abilities to babysit Conrad, so there's a chance we might go.
That's it.
I've asked them to take on grand responsibility. And Podrick, we've just met. This is very unfair. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be sure to look for you guys in the Irish Open. Good luck in your scoop challenge, Caitlin. I hope you ship one so that somebody gets a lot of free cash. And Podrick, has been a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys. Thanks for having us on.
Pleasure. Later,
Thanks,
guys.
Yep.
All right. That was great.
That was fun.
You're actually going, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. Brian, do you want to go to Ireland?
Maybe.
I'm just trying to get somebody to go babysit him.
I don't want to do that.
I'm not volunteering to going.
I don't want to do
Brian
that.
babysitting somebody with beer around.
You kidding me?
That's the manager.
Right.
He'll take care of it.
Yeah, I've had a few Guinness and a few Jamesons in my day. I think I can handle it.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
You never saw those cheeks get rosy red?
Irish car bombs, baby, all day long.
Honestly, I want to go with Lamanna.
I actually really do want to go for the Steeler game.
That would be cool.
I want to go to Ireland, and the funny part is, like, I'm always thinking, like, well, maybe we better go this time of the year. When is it ever nice there? It's not.
I mean, I assume the summers are probably better than the winters.
Who knows? In my mind, it's Seattle.
Yeah.
You know?
Mine too. That's
Seems
right.
rainy and dreary.
Yeah, just with, like, a lot
but that
better
could just
scenery.
be like what's in our head, because like Seattle is actually supposed to be like nice. It doesn't rain as much as people think it does.
Yeah, it does.
We just have that connotation in our head.
It rains as much as we think it does.
It does. It does, for sure. I think the difference between like a Seattle and a Miami is that
One's 100 degrees and the other one's like 30.
No, is
And
that
raining?
like it might rain every single day in Miami, but it's for like 10 minutes and the sun's just beaming out while it happens. Where in Seattle, it's just like, you look at this. It's just fucking gloomy. Like when it's not raining, it's
that is
gloomy.
just every single day.
It's just all day, every day.
I take it
baby.
back.
Miami's like 3 to 4 o'clock. You're going to get hit with rain.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like annoying because you're going to
Right.
just be somewhere in the middle of a sunny day and then be wet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like, you live with it because
You dry
everybody else
real
is
quick.
quicker. Yeah. Dry off really quickly. It's fine. All right. That's going to do it for us. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will be back. We're going to miss one day this week. Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
you
we're
want
off
to go
Wednesday.
snowboarding?
I'm going to go snowboarding. The season's coming to an end. I need to,
Gotta get it while you can.
I got to get out there.
It seems like there's a shitload of snow. I was looking at one of our friends' IG.
Charleston got crushed.
Really?
Yeah, so anybody here local at Vegas that wants to go and just like practice a little bit, Lee Canyon, short 45-minute trip, they got 2 feet.
Wow.
Pretty sick.
I mean, the weather here, anytime in the valley that it's like rainy and dreary, they're getting pounded with snow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be heading to Tahoe with a few poker players. I need to decompress. I won $400,000 in 2 sessions last week.
That's pretty good.
For the entire week, I was up $13K.
I was waiting for it.
You're banking Skolansky bucks.
I'm up like 1.1 million on live streams this year. Just this year alone, January until now. I'm down 100,000 for the year.
Burke, when you see that cliff, don't jump, all right, buddy?
I've been looking for a cliff in Vegas for 15 years, man. Take me to Ireland. They'll get me on a cliff real quick. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, noon Pacific. We'll see you guys all then.
Hasta mañana.